Welcome back to Fantasy Football by Committee, powered by Flurry Sports. It can be tough to win a fantasy league on your own, but at FFBC, we will work together to bring home the hardware. Hosted by Zach Bruner and the rest of the Flurry Sports crew, we will give top-level analysis, answer your questions, and, well, go off on other tangents.
That was after I tried to get ChatGPT to admit that 9/11 was an inside job, but it stood firm. It gave quite a few solid points that it was true.
Welcome to Fantasy Football by Committee. The show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone. I think we are live. It's my first time hosting the new Fantasy Football by Committee stream here. I got all these videos and stuff going everywhere. Zach's messing with me behind the scenes. Not the off-brand Zach Bruner, the real Zach Bruner. But yeah, it's Henry John here with Flurry Sports and Fantasy Football by Committee, your Week 3 Fantasy Football Start-Sit show. And it's also like Henry and the Zachs here, even though Zach Bruner is not present, because we've got off-brand Zach Bruner, Zach Espinoza in the middle. And then over on the right, we got the president of the Martin Truex Jr. fan club, Zach McAdoo. Good evening, gentlemen. It's great to be on with you both. I hope everybody is doing well. And I'm excited to dive into some Week 3 fantasy football talk with you both. Of course, make sure that you are, if you're following along on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, wherever you might be catching us live, drop those start-sit questions in the chat, and we will answer them to the best of our ability as we go along. Espinoza, I feel like you had a a Cleveland Browns rant. You got the jersey on and everything over here. So what's going on? What's this rant? We're going to start with that because I'm curious.
You know what? I think we need to address the audience real quick. This is for both of you guys. If we see anybody named Tamir Mayshar in the chat, we're not answering any questions from him. Anything, we're just ignoring. He's in timeout right now. Anyway, all right, Cleveland Browns, as you can see, yeah, go ahead. No, keep them coming, Mayshar. So as you can see, I'm wearing my Baker Mayfield jersey for a reason. All right, I was a #1 Baker Mayfield stan coming out of college. As you guys both know, does anybody want to go to Cleveland coming out of college, let alone a quarterback?
I don't think anyone wants to go to Cleveland ever.
So then tell me how satisfying you think it was when a top-rated quarterback prospect essentially dared Cleveland to draft him, saying, I'll be the man to turn around the franchise. Do you know how little that happens? The silence is deafening because it's a yes. He dared the Browns to draft him, which just sent me over the wall for it. And just the situation that they did with him and Deshaun Watson. All of the character issues that he had coming out of college was suddenly something that resurfaced 4 years later with the Browns saying that that's why we wanted to dump him off. So you're telling me that a guy with 26 cases of sexual assault and sexual misconduct, that's a better character issue than Baker Mayfield for the man who took you to the playoffs for the first time since 2002 in over 20 years? I think it was 19 years. And you're telling me that suddenly you have character issues with him over a guy with 26 counts? I mean, it's just ridiculous. I could go on and on about this rant, but I'm seeing the questions pile up. I'm also seeing the hate pile up there too. But I say we go ahead and go on with the fantasy football show. Start him, sit him. We'll have to save this for a podcast or something.
Heck yeah, because I feel like that is a interesting discussion to have. All I could say is Baker Mayfield's playing pretty darn well this first couple of weeks down in Tampa.
Oh, I love seeing all the discourse about that online.
Yeah, and Deshaun Watson, not so much. He was getting a little handsy, I guess, on Monday Night Football too there with the refs. But anyways, no, not at all. Let's jump into this chat here. Tamir, on YouTube, I guess you're in timeout, but you did actually ask a decent start-sit question here at the quarterback position. So we're going to jump in with this one and kick things off. How do we feel about Daniel Jones Thursday Night Football tonight going up against the San Francisco 49ers? Or would you pick up Mac Jones? That's also a tough matchup for the Patriots. They are on the road taking on the New York Jets, the Aaron Rodgers-less New York Jets. ZT McAdoo, Martin Truex Jr. fanboy, what do you got? Daniel Jones, Mac Jones. What are you thinking?
I mean, Daniel Jones looked pretty good Sunday against the Cardinals defense in the second half. He's not playing the Cardinals defense this week. I think I would lean more towards Mac Jones this week.
Okay. Espinoza, you agree? Or
I kind of don't want to give an answer because I'm in a fantasy league with them. So anything that I can say will be used against me in a court of law as well as in the fantasy realm.
So you're abstaining. I understand. I lean Mac Jones on the surface just because I don't know what the state of that Jets locker room is. You know, that we got Zach Wilson. They haven't beat the Patriots. They've lost like 14 straight to them. And the problem is, does the defense show up or not? Or, is there like a revolt coming in that locker room? Daniel Jones, you have the rushing ability there. And I don't think the Giants are going to be able to run the ball between the tackles on the 49ers front. So he might have to get out and make some plays with his legs. I would probably lean Mac Jones, though.
I think in all seriousness, I would probably lean Mac Jones too. I mean, we saw the Giants offense against the Dallas defense week 1. 0 points scored. The 49ers are arguably just as good of a defense, if not better. And with Saquon Barkley out for the next 3 games, as well as, I mean, who's the Giants receiving core? Darren Waller?
Harris Campbell.
Exactly.
Wandale Robinson.
I like Jalen Hyatt. I like Jalen Hyatt going forward, but it's going to be a work in progress. And to your point, no Barkley, short week. Giants have done nothing offensively until after halftime in the Arizona game when I feel like somebody from the front office called down to the Cardinals sideline and was like, guys, what are you doing? We're trying to lose here. So I think we're all looking at Mac Jones there.
Let me tell this. I would not start Matt Breida either this week. I don't trust him.
Agreed.
He might be the lead back tonight, but he hasn't done anything with his touches that he's had so far.
I would agree with that. He might be a guy that you're looking to pick up and maybe use in one of the next couple weeks as like a flex option, depending on how long Barkley's out. If you can pick him up for a little cheaper this week, that might be a strategy there. But against that 49ers front, I want nothing to do with that Giants backfield until we see a little bit more how it's going to play out without Barkley in there. Next up, we got J-Rap 24/7/49 on Twitch. Aaron Jones or Raheem Mostert this week. Aaron Jones with the Packers going up against the Saints defense, and we got Raheem Mostert with the Dolphins going up against the Broncos defense that I featured prominently in the defensive streamers article last week on FlurrySports.org. And there's that. The Washington commies went nuts. So I don't know what to make of that Denver defense. Where are you guys leaning here?
Ooh, I mean, Aaron Jones was what, RB3 week 1 before he got injured?
Really darn good. I can get that for you in a second.
I know that he's coming back from injury, but dear God, did he produce when he was healthy. So, I mean, in a vacuum over those two, I'm going Aaron Jones. I know if Bruner was here, I'm the off-brand Bruner today. So anything with Mostert, anything with anybody from the ex-49ers team that's now on Miami, I wouldn't touch them with a 10-foot pole.
Aaron Jones, according to NFL.com fantasy, that's just the baseline that I'm using for points scored. It's actually the RB1 in week 1.
Yeah, exactly.
Edged out Austin Eckler. So, McAdoo, are you in agreement there?
Is he supposed to be? That's why he's questionable. Is he good to go for Sunday? Because obviously, if not, you're starting Mostert. But I would still. Something about Mostert last week. He showed out. Did what did he get? 20+ points or something like that. And also, Brian Robinson got 20+ points against this same Broncos defense. So, I mean, there's something there with Mostert, and I'm probably going to lean there because you don't know how many carries Aaron Jones is going to get this weekend.
Yeah, to your point, he is still questionable.
Oh, sorry. No, you go first.
All right, I was just going to say, to your point, he is still questionable. Both games kick off at the same time, 1 o'clock Eastern, so it's not like you have a Thursday night, situation to worry about or anything. So Jones is out or whatever, if it doesn't look good, if he's going to be severely limited, maybe you look to Mostert there. I'm still, I can I can get on board with Mostert until Jeff Wilson comes back. Straight up though, Aaron Jones all day. Like if he's healthy and he's going to be out there, I don't know how you don't roll with him.
I would take Aaron Jones in a wheelchair over Mostert.
Yeah, straight up, I kind of feel the same way. It just comes down to that injury and what he's got going on there with the hamstring. Smokey the Cat on YouTube. Would you trade, I'm assuming that's Kyron Williams, for Josh Allen? He already has Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow probably not going to play this week by everything I've been hearing and seeing with that cap deal. Hasn't looked great when he's been out there the first couple weeks. Is that going to continue to linger? So bit of a sticky situation there at quarterback. I guess it would depend on what the running backs, he's got going on there, because Kyron Williams has looked really good. So if you were able to grab him off waivers, that's kudos to you. In a vacuum, though, I don't know how you don't trade him for Josh Allen. Now, the caveats to this are, on the bad side, one, the Rams backfield, you never know what you're going to get. Sean McVay will switch it up randomly. And on the second side, pretty sure Cam Akers is no longer a Ram, right? So
shipped off to Minnesota for a 7th round pick.
Exactly. So Kyron Williams kind of looks like he has a stranglehold on that backfield now. You guys have any major thoughts here?
McAdoo, you want to take it first?
If you're getting Josh Allen, yes, go ahead. If it's the other way around, I feel like there's a better running back you can get for Josh Allen than Kyron Williams.
I actually am disagreeing here. I don't think you should trade it for Josh Allen, just because there's kind of been a scarcity at the running back position this year for fantasy. We're already seeing Aaron Jones go down. I mean, he's supposed to come back. Austin Eckler has gone down. Nick Chubb is out for the year, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I think if you have a good running back, you keep it. Now, I would also ask you, Smokey, what's the quarterback position look like in your league? Who can you pick up? I mean, can we stream Jared Goff here? I think that's a viable option as well. I'm against it.
I like your line of thinking there, because you can get away with streaming the quarterback position depending on how deep your league is. And I know Jared Goff's widely available. I want to say Kirk Cousins was widely available at some point too, the last I looked. So you've got guys there who, they're going to put up numbers for you.
Hell, you got Kyron Williams. I mean, shit, Sam Howell could make things work for you. It just depends on your team.
Now we're talking. We got another Sam Howell guy in here. I like it. Shout out Trevor Land. Let's see here. Brown suck. Got that. Zach Bruner says Aldi brand Zach Bruner. So there you go, Espinosa. You're the Aldi brand.
You know what? This is for Bruner. Where is it? Better than Culver's.
I agree. Not that I've had Culver's yet, but I agree.
I haven't either.
Not that good. Never seen it. Anything Wisconsin, I'm just not a fan of.
Right. Yeah. No, I fully agree. Let's see here. I'm ignoring the next one. We got Javier Delgado on YouTube. He needs to bench one of the following: Josh Kelly, Brian Robinson, I'm assuming, James Cook, Kyron Williams. So these are. I definitely like the running backs on this team, because if he's benching one, that means he's got somebody else who's even ahead of these. You guys have a lean one way or the other. I can, let's see here. Fantasy Pros, ECR, just for kicks, they have got Kyron Williams as the RB9, and I would agree. I'm not benching him if I had to take one right off the bat. Brian Robinson, the RB18. Josh Kelly, the RB19. A little disappointing last week, but he's gotten volume, and he should again, knowing that Eckler's going to be out once again. And who was the last one here? James Cook, who has been solid. He just hasn't found the end zone yet. James Cook, RB13. You guys have a lean one way or the other on who you would bench of the four?
Cook.
Okay.
I'm going to Kelly. I didn't he screwed me over last week, so he's on my bench this week. I don't care.
All right, that's fair enough.
Welcome to the Kellen Moore offense.
I don't know. I might honestly look at I could make an argument for benching Brian Robinson, but I'm not convinced that the Bills' run defense is any good.
I mean,
I feel like
-2
he's got
last
the
week for
volume there.
Josh Jacobs. So.
Oh, what if it's Bijan Robinson out of Atlanta? Bijan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that.
It can't be Bijan. Bijan's the RB3 this week. If it's Bijan, you're playing Bijan against Detroit. He's got to be in there. I think I would lean Kelly too, honestly, and that's a tough call because overall I like the matchup this week. Like Chargers have to win, Vikings suck. I think I would probably lean that way though, just because to McAfee's point, I don't fully trust him. Luke agreed with us, saying play Aaron Jones if he plays. Zach Bruner added that the Packers won't give him the ball in the red zone. Baby Santa on YouTube, would y'all trade either James Cook or James Conner for Garrett Wilson straight up? It's a half-point PPR. Wilson
what's
has
the
Zach
fair
Wilson.
trade is James Conner for Garrett Wilson straight up. If you want to be sneaky, I would trade James Cook because James Conner is a better value to you. You can get away with that. You trade Cook. You keep Conner.
I like the line of thinking. The problem is I feel like James Conner, I'm on board with Bruner and the rest of them. James Conner's not going to stay healthy the whole year. Arizona's just going to run him into the ground. And he never stays healthy anyways. So that's where I'm hesitant on that. But if you're getting Garrett Wilson, I would move James Conner, I think, over James Cook. How's that? What do you think, McAdoo?
I'm going to agree with you on that one. I think James Cook has good value, and Garrett Wilson's going to he might be with Zach Wilson, but he's still going to get targets.
Yeah, I'm in agreement there. And we know the Bills want to establish a normal running game more this year, not just having Josh Allen do all the running. So whether James Cook's fine in the end zone or not, I think the volume is going to be there on a weekly basis. He's clearly better than both Murray and Damian Harris. So at least between the 20s, they ever use him in the red zone, that's just good for you if you're hanging on to him. So I would trade Conner for Wilson there. 2-1 off-brand. Zach Bruner loses. I guess that argument. Let's see. J-Rap again. Christian Kirk or Michael Thomas in his flex spot. Christian Kirk and the Jaguars going up against the Houston Texans. Michael Thomas and the Saints against the Green Bay Packers.
McAdoo, you want to take it first?
All right, so it's Thomas against the Packers, Kirk against the Texans. I'm going to lean Michael Thomas. I liked his let me try it again. He did well Monday. I think he's going to, with Derek Carr just now establishing himself, I think he's going to get more targets, and I think he should do well in that Saints offense.
I'm actually going the other way. I'm taking Christian Kirk. They're going up against Houston. Houston is 0-2 for a reason. That defense is not playing well despite drafting Will Anderson. What was it, second or third overall? I'm taking Kirk.
All right. So you got one of each there. I'm not even going to break the tie. We're just going to keep rolling through all these questions here.
Yeah, thanks for the audience, man. We love seeing all this interaction.
100%. Smokey the Cat again, 12-team PPR. Running backs are Bijan, Jacobs, Gibbs, Jalen Warren, Roshan Johnson. He could pick up Dak Prescott. He was dropped. I love all these running backs. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is a little overhyped, after the David Montgomery injury. I don't think he's just going to suddenly turn into a bell cow there because the Lions have other running backs, and that's what they want to do is use multiple running backs. I'm not in love with Dak Prescott. I don't really know what the question is. Depends on what else you have at quarterback, I guess, as far as picking up Dak. So we'll just kind of leave it at that. Luke has touchdown only, pick 2 to play. Najee Harris, Breece Hall, Dalvin Cook, Gus Edwards. I love me some Gus Edwards this week. I'm not going to lie. He was featured in the Start Sit article that I put up for flurrysports.org that went up earlier today. On the running backs, pick 2 to play. And Najee Harris was also in there. I had him as a sit. So we're kind of just covering my article here right with this question. I don't know what the deal is there in Pittsburgh. Like, I feel like the matchup is favorable this week against the Raiders. I don't trust that offense whatsoever. And Jaylen Warren has looked like the better back to me over Harris, even in the timeshare. And then whatever, Matt Canada doofus is doing, with the play calling, it makes no sense to me. So I'm actually staying away from Najee Harris this week. I don't love Breece Hall or Dalvin Cook going up against the Patriots. So I'm with Gus Edwards to score a TD. Are you guys with me? What 2 would you pick here?
I love the Gus Anderson pick. The Gus Edwards pick. I'm reading the comments and it's throwing me off. The Gus Edwards pick because he's going to get carries to the red zone, and that's how he does his stuff. So, I mean, he's going to score this week, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with Gus Edwards. But Luke, because I actively pray for your downfall, I'm going to say Najee Harris and Raheem Mostert. Yeah.
There you go. He also gave us the Sam Howell GOAT, though. So, we're all in agreement there. Let's see here. LJ2 King on Twitch. Zach, I'm assuming this is for the off-brand Zach Bruner. If you had him, are you starting Jerome Ford this week?
No, I am not. This is something that we talked about on the Stardom Sit 'em stream last week with the actual brand Zach Bruner. We both came to an agreement that if Nick Chubb were to magically go down, Browns are going for a veteran running back. We had a feeling that Kareem Hunt was holding out because he was waiting for the right situation for a long time, and it came and it sat right in his lap. Cleveland came calling back again. This is also an excellent time to announce, drum roll please, we are NFL scriptwriters. We auditioned this year. We sent in a couple of scripts, and so we're so thankful for the NFL for giving us a chance this year. You heard it here first, folks. We're turning your memes into dreams. We want you to win those fantasy championships. Keep tuning in, and that's why we got us a gig as NFL scriptwriters.
I have no comment on that. Javier Delgado's following up on his question from YouTube. He also has Austin Eckler. That was the question where we were looking to bench one of Kelly Robinson, James Cook, or Kyron Williams. The only difference here is if Eckler is out, Josh Kelly is the lead back there. It's a decent matchup. To me, it really just comes down to benching one of Kelly or Robinson. If Eckler plays, then, you have to adjust that as you will. You have the handcuff there, but you're looking to still start the best running backs out of that group that you have. So just because you own the handcuff, it's like a Matt Breida with the Giants situation, right? Like, you might have picked him up, but are you going to start him over your other running backs against the 49ers this week? I'm not sure. So let's see here. We've got Smokey the Cat again.
This was the question about the Josh Allen trade.
Yep. So he's not trading Kyron Williams. What 3 would we play this week out of Bijan, Josh Jacobs, Jahmyr Gibbs, or Kyron Williams? Zach McAdoo, putting you on the spot. You got Bijan against the let's see here. Bijan against the Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs against the Falcons, same game. Kyron Williams and the Rams, Monday Night Football there against the Bengals. And then you got Josh Jacobs against that nasty Steelers defense. But it's Josh Jacobs, who your team just shut down last week.
Yeah, -2. For that reason, I'm going to go with the first 3 with Kyron Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Bijan Robinson. You're not taking Bijan out of your lineup for a while, at least. I feel like, unless he gets hurt, I feel like he is the bell cow, despite Tyler Algier getting the red zone carries. Don't know why that's happening. But I feel like Bijan's going to put up at least double-digit points every week.
Absolutely.
Is this the week does Cordero Patterson come back this week? Or is that next week?
He may come back, just not with Bijan there. At least not for fantasy.
You guys aren't concerned about him coming back. Okay.
He's the Joker. He doesn't matter.
Bold take.
What 3 are you taking though to start, Espinoza?
Off-brand Bruner. We're going with Bijan, Kyron Williams, and I'm actually kind of riding high on Gibbs. I think that David Montgomery injury is kind of good for Gibbs. They drafted him in the first round for a reason. I don't see why they wouldn't give him the workload.
All right, I'm going to disagree with you both. I would sit Gibbs. I think if I had to sit one of the 4, which is what you're asking here, I just don't feel like Gibbs is going to get a significant volume bump even with Montgomery out. Like Craig Reynolds came in basically after Montgomery hurt last week. I heard the stat while I was on the road today, so I can't remember who was talking about it, but they went back and tracked after the Montgomery injury, and it was basically a 60-40 split in terms of 60% of the snaps for Gibbs post-injury, 40% for Craig Reynolds. Lions elevated Zonovan Knight from the practice squad. How will he factor in? I like all 4. I don't think you can really, truly go wrong with any of them this week, but I would be sitting Gibbs if I had to pick one there. Eric Barreto on Facebook, Darren Waller tonight for the Giants or Hunter Henry with the Patriots against the Jets. I know that Hunter Henry was featured prominently in Bruner's tight end start sit article over on flurrysports.org. So you can read the case that he made for him there. Would you guys play him over Darren Waller against San Fran tonight?
No, I think Darren Waller is the Giants passing offense for a reason.
It's tough because I believe they're going to be right there on points. But if you're going to lean one way, I'll lean towards Waller.
Yeah,
I'm not confident in that pick.
I get that it's the 49ers defense, but I mean, Hunter Henry's going up against the Jets, maybe, but like Darren Waller is New York offense without Saquon Barkley. So you can't go wrong, is what I'm trying to say.
For sure. Just looking on the season, obviously they're both kind of tough defensive matchups, Jets and 49ers. Hunter Henry's got 11 catches, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns. Darren Waller's got 9 receptions, 112 yards, no touchdowns. I feel like the right call, like they're split by, it looks like almost 14 PPR points according to NFL scoring, NFL.com scoring, that is. I'd probably go Waller here too. I just feel like the volume is safer. Hunter Henry is definitely one you can consider to start, I think, almost weekly here at this point, the way things have started out going forward. Tight end 2 on the season, but I would still roll with Waller there. I think that's a better volume play, kind of to follow up what you guys are saying. Also from Eric on Facebook, who's a better flex option this week? Puka Nacua, Michael Pittman Jr., or Nico Collins? I'm a big Nico Collins believer. I just want to put that out there. I love that I have him in a couple dynasties.
Puka.
And you're going with Puka?
I mean, we're screaming at the wall here. He's been having a historic season for a rookie. He's had like the most receptions against like some Hall of Famers this year. It's Puka all the way.
Agreed.
Yeah, I have a hard time saying I would go Collins over him this week. I don't mind the matchup against Jacksonville. The other interesting thing with Michael Pittman is it's looking almost certain that it's going to be Gardner Minshew. So how does that affect the Colts offense? That might be something you just don't want to deal with altogether. I'm not sure. At this point, though, I don't really know how you stray from Puka Nacua. Like, until Cooper Kupp comes back and we see how that situation evolves, he's clearly Stafford's go-to target. So shout out Robbie Anderson in the chat. Let's see here. The Dak pickup was concerning. This is from Smokey the Cat again, talking about the previous one. Dak pickup concerning if I should trade Kyron for Josh Allen, as I currently have Burrow and he's not performing. Okay, so we need to drop somebody to pick up Dak Prescott or trade Kyron Williams for Josh Allen.
I mean, what was the team
and
again?
he's got Bijan, Josh Jacobs, and Jahmyr Gibbs, all of them as well. So I'm assuming this is a league with not a ton of teams, so everybody's pretty good as far as rosters are concerned. So does that make you guys reevaluate that thought of trading Kyron Williams for Josh Allen at all? Or
No, I mean, I think you're okay. I think you can survive dropping somebody from your bench for Dak Prescott. Sounds like you're pretty stacked. And I think even, Joe Burrow is not performing this year. I wrote an article last year about why Bengals fans should panic after the 0-2 start. It's an 0-2 start again. And the Bengals last year were in the playoffs. There's the beginning of the year is always a little iffy for fantasy as well as NFL IRL. This is where you start to see the kinks being worked out. It's not really until week 5 with the first bye week where we start to solidify trends. Even if Burrow doesn't play this week, they just gave him a record contract. He is going to play this year. He's going to play well eventually. Maybe not this week, but I think you hold off on the panic.
all right, McAdoo, D2 Shields 98 on Twitch. Justin Fields or Jordan Love? Thoughts on them this week?
Who are the Bears play this week?
Justin Fields and the Bears. Oh, it's escaping me. Bears have got the Chiefs, and Jordan Love and the Packers have the Saints at home.
I don't like this because I still believe in Fields, but the Chiefs shut down Trevor Lawrence last week. Thanks for that one, Espinoza. But I think I gotta lean toward Jordan Love on this one, honestly. As dumb as it might be, I just don't believe in Fields right now.
Shields, the way that we wrote the script, it favored Jordan Love. So I'd pick up Jordan Love.
Okay. I dislike both of them a whole lot. I don't know what's going on there in Chicago. I don't want to start either one of them. Do you have a better option on the waiver wire? I might lean that way. R Marts 4, do I risk Daniel Jones with AR likely out? Only other realistic options are Stroud and Baker. So AR is referring to Anthony Richardson here. It's a quarterback question. Daniel Jones with Richardson out. Other options are CJ Stroud, Baker Mayfield. And to be honest with you, I don't hate either one of them. CJ Stroud is, to me, by far the best rookie quarterback so far. And like we said, Baker's playing pretty well. And I don't know. Do you get more rushing upside out of Daniel Jones than you do over like a Baker? What are your guys' thoughts here? The Texans are playing at Jacksonville as far as Stroud is concerned. And then the Bucks and Baker Mayfield have the Eagles on Monday night.
McAdoo, what are your thoughts?
I'm trying to think. Who the Eagles play so far? It was Patriots last. Oh, I would go with Baker because, I mean, look at the stats that Jones and Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I mean, I'm literally wearing the Baker Mayfield jersey, so you know my answer there.
I mean, and then last week he had Kirk Cousins put up 30+.
Well, then also, Daniel Jones is just so volatile. So sure, he has the option to run, and he can get you points there. But we've also seen him go up against tough defenses where he's scored negative 5, 10, 15 points. Safer pick to me is Stroud or Baker. I don't think you can go wrong with either of those.
Yeah, I guess maybe look at your matchup. If you think Baker Mayfield's going to continue playing well, he's got the weapons there. So I think actually what he's done these first couple of weeks could continue when you've got guys like Mike Evans running routes for you. If you need upside out of your quarterback spot, I think I would lean Daniel Jones just because of the running ability. But to your point, Espinoza, he could go for negative against the 49ers tonight. I don't think any of us would be shocked. But he could run because Barkley's not there, and what else is that offense going to do? He's going to be running for his life anyway. So I think that's how I would play that. Let's see here.
If I may, Walmart.
Yeah, go for it because I got time the next
comment saying that the scary 49ers defense made Kyron Williams and Puka must-owns. And then Luke said, praying for my downfall coming from a guy who doesn't like the Beastie Boys. One, Beastie Boys ain't all that. We've been over this. It's not a discussion. Secondly, the Rams were a division rival. They know how to play the 49ers. It's week 2. I said what I said. Don't at me in the comments.
I forgot you were the guy who don't like the Beastie Boys. Now I'm starting to second guess.
Sabotage.
With the Sam Howell, but nuh-uh. Zach Bruner. Also, I'm just going to throw this out there because it's in the chat. Start betting the Cordero Patterson 2+ TD lines this week. It'll hit within a month. You guys are the ones who both said he's not going to have a role. I was on board there. He's coming back.
He's probably going to have like a Taysom Hill role. That's what it's going to come down to.
Yeah,
Joke's going to be on you. Let's see.
When we were cooking up the script, we didn't think it should be for Cordell Patterson. We think he's had his time.
I don't know. I don't think his time ever really ends. Let's see. We got Luke, start 2, Nick Chubb, Zach McAdoo, Ray Rice, Urban Meyer all day, and I'll put Zach McAdoo in that lineup with him.
Go Gators!
Oh. Bruner points out that the scary 49ers defense made Kyron Williams and Puka Nacua must-own players. Does have a point.
I mean, when did they get those
going
points
back to that Daniel Jones question.
So Bruner points out, Walmart brand, Zach Bruner points out, Kenny Pickett completed 67% of the passing. Najee Harris averaged 5.2 yards per carry. Yeah, there's a famous screenshot of like the 49ers offense, 197 yards, the Steelers defense 0. And it's like in the second quarter. They didn't score those or get those completions. They didn't get those yards until well into the second half of the game after the 49ers jumped ahead with that lead and finally coasted for the rest of the game.
Garbage time, baby.
Not scary.
Garbage time in fantasy football. Smoking the Cat listed his full roster. I'm assuming you guys saw that in the chat. That's the one where we're trying to figure out what we want to do. Do we want to trade Kyron Williams for Joe Burrow? Now I've kind of got a full picture of this in one place. Trade Kyron Williams for Josh Allen because he has Joe Burrow. There we go. I still want to know what's on the waiver wire at quarterback, I think, before I'm going nuts there, pulling that trade off. At the same time, he's Josh Allen. So you're not going to find a better quarterback than that on the waiver wire. Let's keep going here. Stoof Curry on Twitch. I like that name. Who's better at Madden, Zach Bruner or Luke Reimer? I have no idea. I don't play Madden.
The third guy, it's me.
Yeah, it might be McAdoo, honestly. I feel like he spends a lot of his time on that game. Then let's see here. We keep going down. Phew. I think we got through all the start sit questions at this point. Did you guys need to circle back on anything that was in
Just
the chat?
One comment. Kenny Pickett completed 67% of his passing against the 49ers. He also had 11.68 points. Is that good?
Yeah, I got to disagree with Bruner on this one. Even if, I understand that point. Nobody remembers who ran the first half. That's insanely valid. But at the end of the day, it was the 49ers just coasting for the rest. And that's when they got all their points in. I think that's where the actual IRL side comes into effect fantasy.
Yeah, I think I would be with you guys on that for sure. Like, are we trying to talk down on the 49ers defense right now? Because I don't think I'm going to go that far at this point.
And then Najee was
where
RB
I'd come down on it.
Week 1.
We went. Say it again.
Najee Harris was RB 43 week 1 against this Niners defense.
Case in point in case. Thank you, McAdoo. All righty. Circling back. I mean, I can finish my Browns rant if you guys want to hear that.
I don't know. I think
scored
Henry's frozen.
like 5 fantasy points in both games.
Yeah, he has. That's correct.
And I still think Jalen Warren looks better.
Ooh. Henry, where are you? Henry's in a special place right now. You know what? You're so right, Henry. Sometimes there is nothing left to say. You're exactly right.
You can't hear
Guys,
me no
I think
more?
this will be a special moment. Oh, he's coming back. Blink twice if you need help. These are deep thoughts going on in the chat.
He's moving.
He's moving. He's alive. He's well. Okay, you know what? I think this is a great time to thank our sponsors. So we're going
It's
to
not
thank our
Spectrum.
sponsors.
It's sure as hell not Spectrum.
Alrighty, guys. Sponsors are coming on your screen right now. We want to give a huge shout out.
So I'm
to
back.
them.
I'm back. Am I back?
Yeah, there we go. Nice. Back for the moment. Here to savor it. So we got some deep thoughts going on in the chat. I don't know if you missed it. It's going to be ass or tits. What about you, McAdoo? Ass or tits?
Am I here or what is going on? I can
really
still hear you guys.
Yeah,
you're in, but you're out.
Are we allowed to answer this one, Bruder? Is this what we're doing now?
Well, for fantasy points, I got to go ass. You know, tits, they don't really have a high ceiling. Ass gives you a better ceiling. Tits are a lower floor. I mean, it really just depends on.
I don't want to answer this. I don't want to get canceled. I'm afraid I'm going to get canceled if I answer this.
I mean, to be fair, we crossed that bridge a long time ago with the Ray Rice.
Probably. All right. I'm going to say I like the boobs. I'm a boobs man.
Wow, but for fantasy though?
I can fantasize about boobs. It's not that hard.
But for fantasy though, are they going to be getting you more points?
I mean, who knows? It's up in the air. It's 50-50 call.
That's actually a really hot take. I have no idea how my team is 0-2. I don't know how your team is 0-2 because I can't really see your team. You got to drop it in the chat. That's a great question, GDHD.
Adrian, it depends on who's left. Like how deep is your league, and that kind of gives us a sense of who's available. But your team probably isn't good.
Yeah, I don't think that's inherently bad off of the surface line of reading your comment, Adrian. I think Burrow is going to come back. I think we need to pump the brakes on panicking for Burrow. I still think you keep him. It just really just depends on what your league looks like. I hate to break this to you, GDHD, but you already got some haters in the comment ream time saying that your team probably isn't good. And I think you now have to comment your team and prove ream time wrong.
Okay, going back for a second, did you answer if you'd start Nick Chubb, me, Urban Meyer, or Ray Rice?
No, I didn't. Okay, hold on. Let me go back for that. I mean, first of all, I'm starting you.
Let's
Matt,
go!
You're in the lineup. You're my go-getter. I think you got that dog in you, if I'm being real here. Mono.
Hands.
Exactly. I love that energy. I want you out there on the field. Winners want the ball in their hands, and that's you, friend. That's you, my friend. You know what? I gotta go you and a Nick Chubb. I'm taking an injured Nick Chubb, and I'm putting him out there. I'm taking Nick Chubb in a wheelchair.
Just put him in a wheelchair.
Yes, and you're pushing him.
Oh no! We're getting canceled.
Yeah, we need a fucking.
All right, guys, funny shit's over. Boss is here.
Jesus Christ, let's bring it in a little bit. Luke's on Twitch talking about Stephon Jackson. We can't be doing this right now.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think we were going fantastical until Henry decided to just leave us.
You were in a different time zone too. Espinoza was the only one, like in present day. I feel like I don't know.
What do you mean?
What
do you mean? How was he here?
You look like you were in the back of Henry's truck for a second. I mean, you're looking a little better now, but it was something. It was something.
It's not Henry's fault. We should make him host.
That's right, Stu. Hit the fucking music. What I was gonna do, I didn't mean to pop on. I was gonna hit this actually.
You're gonna hit the end. We can end this all.
but I do have that there for a reason. I haven't had to use it yet.
Wait, hold on. I'm done. I'm laughing my ass off. Is that what it is?
I don't know. I don't know. Any fantasy questions? Do I risk Danny Dimes tonight? Yeah. Play him.
Yeah.
He averages like 60 yards on the ground on Thursday Night Football. He's just gonna run all night. He might not pass for 200 yards, but he's gonna run. Henry's here. Okay. He's also Zach. Henry, are you here with us?
10-4, I'm here.
Okay.
I don't know what just happened. It was my laptop, not even the internet. That's what I'm most worried about out here. But
Turn
jeez,
off the porn.
That's true.
Yeah, that's probably it. Got all those viruses.
Fair enough.
It's lonely out on the road. I'm sorry.
I mean, you probably heard Stoof talking about Amaranth to Trevor and had to see who it was.
No, who the hell is Stoof?
Jeannie, drop it one more time. Drop your team one more time. Antonio Lopez for the people here. Let's answer a fantasy question. Would you do Kyron Williams and Zach Charbonnet for Josh Jacobs PPR? He would get Jacobs. Espinoza, what's your thoughts?
Would you do trading Kyron Williams and Zach Charbonnet for Josh Jacobs? No, I think Kyron Williams is playing really hot right now until proven otherwise. I think Charbonnet is still getting enough touches and he has a high enough floor. Maybe his ceiling we don't quite know at the moment, but he's still getting enough touches that combination I don't think outweighs Jacobs' singular output.
You know, I fully agree. Like I'm keeping Williams and Charbonnet, and this kind of goes back to something we were talking about a little bit earlier, like the scarcity of running backs. Like they're dropping like flies right now. That's a 2-for-1. I feel like with Josh Jacobs, you're kind of buying into some of what he did last year too. Like, is it going to be that good this year? It sure wasn't last week. So.
No, and what hurt him last week is that they went down early, and so they couldn't they really didn't have the run game. So, but I would still
see. This is what I mean.
Kyron Williams and Zach Charbonnet, because who knows if Ken Flocker.
You might need to refresh your stream too. By the way,
yeah,
we kind of heard it. We got you.
All right, good. You heard my point.
Yeah. A little pause in the middle is a dramatic pause. Jeannie says Josh Jacobs sucks. He does suck. Congrats. That is a correct opinion, I would say. I would for sure want to keep Kyron Williams, by the way. Have to do it. Is Charbonnet ass or tits? Fantastic question, Stoof, as always. I mean, he's ass, right? Like he has no role.
I'll just say ass. Also,
yeah.
Bruno, if I may, I listened to the Flurry Sport podcast, and I've never heard somebody say the word suck.
Oh, it's on that podcast.
I think so, yeah. It was earlier this week. I was like listening to it at work, and I was like, oh, I felt dirty. Like I felt like a little skank.
It had to be about Tua, right? It had to be Tua.
I think so, something like that. I felt dirty. I felt like I needed to go to church after hearing you just say, yeah, he sucks.
Dude, Tua's a piece of shit. Like, I don't know why I need to be the person to like lead the charge on this, but the fact that he calls his his offensive lineman not athletic when he catches a touchdown, when he doesn't know how to fall, and then he drives past his left tackle after his left tackle's car breaks down. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm not going to go back for him. The dude sucks as a person.
I need you.
And as a football player, also bad.
Yeah, I've been saying this for years since college that I was never a Tua fan, and I keep saying this to my family, and they think I'm crazy. So if you could do me a huge favor and clip that, because anything that I say
give me their number. I'll call them. I'll call them in the middle of the night to let them know. Anybody who wants me, I'll start a cameo just for trashing Tua. I don't want to do anything else, but I will do that day after day after day, because that's the only thing that is giving me joy tonight, is talking about how much I hate Tua Tagovailoa. Where's the N in that? I don't know, but apparently we have to pronounce it because he wants me to pronounce it. Fuck that dude. Is that Tua? Throw it away.
He's got his jersey.
Why?
I like Tua, damn it.
We're in opposition.
It's funny. I'm a Bills fan. I still like Tua, and I've liked him since his college days. So it's funny that we're going this full circle.
Can't be doing it. Genie's team here. Let's grade it since he's been waiting. Jordan Love, Justin Fields, Travis Etienne, Ramondre Stevenson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Justin Jefferson, DJ Moore, Pat Steve, Butker is the kicker. How many teams? Because that seems like a very good team, right?
Agreed.
All accounts.
Yeah.
I mean,
I have.
Yeah. I feel like it's my internet that's bad right now. I have no idea. But if it's anything, 12 team, you're good. You're good to go. You're good to go.
Yeah,
you guys
12
hear
team.
me
That's
okay?
really... Yes, sir.
Okay. I just want to know if you guys could hear me okay. These things are
Yeah, I just got a thing saying that my audio connected in and out, and it gave me like 12 notifications. Restream's
great. It's great. Genie's responded or surrounded by Finns fans. Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's one concussion away from being dead on the field.
And that's
all the valor
that
away from DeMar Hamlin.
Yeah, last year, I don't know if you remember this, Bruner, but like we were talking about how it should have been a human rights violation if they let him out on the field again. And I know that it's like, like it's a war crime. I straight up like the UN is going to get involved if he dies out there on the field.
Well, they justified it.
So
like,
it's
it wasn't
okay.
a head injury; it was a spine injury. Like, fine.
He did jujitsu. He added like 10 pounds of muscle or something stupid in one off season. He's gonna live. It's all good. And then when he doesn't live, we told you so.
I want him to live. I just need him to be alive for everyone to realize he's not good at football. If he dies, he's going to be a hero.
He's not good. He has the best receiver in the NFL on his team, and Jalen Waddle's pretty damn good too. So he looks good.
Death would be too good. Death would make him a martyr.
Agreed. Anything important here? I traded for Gibbs. Hope he turns my team around. I mean, his role's going to grow. He's not the bell cow now that Montgomery's out, like you guys were saying before. Like, there's no way. There's zero chance. Now when Craig Reynolds.
Hey, I said no. I said no.
I know. I said to your guys' point.
Oh.
Yeah. Relax. Calm down. We're good. We're good. Any other fantasy questions here? Or we could, I mean, Zach, if you want to talk about the Browns, you have an open platform to shit on the Browns whenever.
I don't know how much time I have. I can give you a full 1 hour dichotomy of the situation.
Don't want an hour, but if you got type 5, I think that's cool.
Well, I mean, what's to say that I can't summarize in 5 minutes? Let's just look at the stats this year, because everybody's been posting that on Twitter, on Instagram, on social media, by and large, the week 2 comparisons of Deshaun Watson and Baker Mayfield. And the general gist of the situation is that Baker Mayfield is balling out, whereas Deshaun Watson is really struggling. I will say for consideration that week 1 was a rain game against the Bengals, but week 2 shouldn't have been any struggles. I don't care that Nick Chubb tore his knee in the opposite direction. And like at the beginning of quarter 2, you still have Amari Cooper. You still have David Njoku. You still drafted Harrison Bryant, who was the top, whatever the award is for the top tight end in college football. They have the pieces. They have the weapons. And it blows my mind that even on 2 separate teams last year, Baker Mayfield playing in all 17 games last year. Well, not all 17. I think it was like 15 or something, because he had missed a game or 2 being benched in Carolina. He threw for over 2,000 yards, had 10 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, whereas Deshaun Watson, in his return to Cleveland in 2022, had 58.2% completion for his passing, 1,102 yards, 7 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. When are we going to stop saying that he's rusty? When are we going to stop giving him excuses? And I'm very glad that we finally caught up to me in this trend of saying that oh, well, Baker Mayfield's balding out. And it makes no sense to me. And if I was on Cleveland and I was a player, what they just did to Baker Mayfield means that they can do that to you at any moment in the locker room. I don't care if you're Myles Garrett. I don't care if you're Nick Chubb. I don't care if you're Amari Cooper. If you're the quarterback and you're the most important position on an NFL team and they just did that to Baker Mayfield, what's stopping them from doing that to you? It's a horrible look for the Browns. It's a horrible look for an organization that has, quite frankly, made itself the laughingstock for the last, oh yeah, that's right, about 60 years in the NFL.
Factory of sadness.
Just tie a bow on it. Luke, stop. I will time you out. That's not even funny. Jordan Love is the least talented quarterback starting quarterback in the NFL right now. Just arm talent wise. It's unbelievably horrible. Now, talking about another quarterback who's not talented right now, Deshaun Watson. How are people actually making excuses for him?
Well, because he missed
after every
years.
I know, but if there was one player that I feel like everybody could pile on and absolutely bury, why wouldn't they do it to someone with a fully guaranteed contract, essentially richest contract in NFL history because of the guaranteed money? Someone with, obviously a checkered past, to say it lightly, and he's playing bad football, and he plays for the Cleveland Browns. This is someone who we should all be burying. And people are like, he's rusty. He's Dabo's guy. He'll turn it around. And we don't need to do that. We can bury him. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
He sucks. Great.
I don't know if there's bots, if they're paying, bot accounts to come out from the woodworks and defend him. But it's absolutely insane that we don't sit here as a society and just shit on him publicly.
I completely agree. Let's grade
do you guys,
Tame's team here.
Well, we can get back to it because this is a good trade.
Let's say what you guys say. Let's do the trade, and then we're gonna get off unless there's more fantasy questions. How about that? So, what do you guys say?
I was just gonna say, do you guys think that part of Watson's struggles right now are the fact that he kind of has to live with himself after what he did, and then, oh, by the way, he goes and somehow becomes the richest player in the NFL? To me, obviously he's a piece of shit, and most pieces of shit don't really care. They get their money, and he got through it. So it's weird to think about that from that standpoint, but it kind of makes me wonder, because he gets booed everywhere he goes. He probably gets booed in Cleveland too. Is it we're not all piling on like you guys are saying, but it just makes me wonder if he's struggling to live with himself and he just can't play football anymore.
I mean, he was still playing through it when all this stuff was going, when he was doing it. He was still playing that week in Houston. So, I mean, is it just now the realization of, oh, I shouldn't have done that? I mean, I don't think it's that.
Did he play during it? I think he was already out.
Well, no.
I think
he was getting his massages the week of games, right?
Sure.
So he'd have to live through that. But now it's just the realization of all the accusations that are coming out that makes him think, oh, I shouldn't have done that. I don't buy it.
Yeah, not sorry that I did it, sorry that I got caught.
Yeah, almost like that.
I just think it's the first time he's playing with pressure in the NFL ever. In Houston, he was playing with nothing to lose. They were a bad team. He's playing from behind, and he was playing loose. And now he has the pressure of that contract that no one will ever get again, and that everybody hates him and wants to see him fail. It's so much pressure, and I feel like he's not handling it super well.
Well, that, and also, to that point, if you're Deshaun Watson and you're his agent and you're asking for that kind of money, if you're Cleveland, you're asking those questions. And if they are a competent organization, which I know that they've proved time in and time out to not do, I would still assume they do that as a bare minimum in the NFL. But if you're Deshaun Watson, you're getting paid that much money because my job isn't nationally televised. I don't have to deal with the hate. We should expect that from you. So even if he is, you're getting paid to block that out. You're getting paid to not care.
I agree. In a perfect world, that is true, but he's not. So is what it is.
Easier said than done.
For sure. He doesn't get an excuse though. He doesn't,
Yeah.
we get to bury him. Untamed Music did a trade. Raheem Mostert, Najee Harris, Jordan Love for Ramondre Stevenson, Justin Fields, Kenneth Gainwell. 14 team, half PPR, one quarterback league. McAdoo, you can start. We'll go around clockwise. What's your thoughts on that trade?
I mean, if you're giving up Mostert, I don't love it. If you're getting Mostert, I love it because I feel like Love and Fields are kind of same playing field so far. Najee and Ramondre are both like they're underperforming, but they can turn around, and Mostert's going to be is the starting back now. I think he'll be the starting back once Jeff Wilson comes back, and Gainwell is going to be behind Swift and Scott, hopefully.
Henry?
I think I like the Ramondre Stevenson side, actually. Like, there are pluses and minuses to both. I'm kind of on board with things that you guys were talking about last night, though. Like, the Bears are an absolute shit show. They're going to realize they're a shit show. Like, I don't even know if they have a DC at this point. Like, what's going on there? And it's just going to become the offense is going to go back to what it was in the second half of last year that suddenly had everyone saying, oh, Justin Fields could be MVP candidate, where he's just going to run all over because they don't know what they're doing. And I think at that point, he's going to be much better than Jordan Love. I think Ramondre Stevenson for the full season might be better than both of those running backs. And then Kenneth Gainwell, I think you're going to have some weeks where he outsnaps DeAndre Swift because the Eagles are trying to keep him fresh for a Super Bowl run and that sort of thing. I think Mostert could get hurt. I've already gone and said, on the show here, I hate what's going on in Pittsburgh. So that's my rationale for that side.
Ooh, I think for me, I actually like what you had kept. I like Najee Harris. I get that he hasn't performed. Trust me, I'm feeling it too in fantasy. But he is the starter, at least for now. He was their first-round draft pick. I mean, who else do they have? And Jordan Love is serviceable in a 14-team QB thing. I think Ramondre still has to compete with Ezekiel Elliott. Gainwell still has to compete with the committee in Philly. I like in fantasy football, my strategy is always just for output. You're trying to get the people that have the most output, maybe not necessarily the most volatile in your prediction of who's going to go off each week. I think the safer pick is keeping Najee and Love and Mostert.
So I obviously love the second side. You sold high on Mostert. You sold high on Jordan Love. If anyone's saying Jordan Love and Justin Fields are equals right now, like Jordan Love had to throw 3 touchdowns in back-to-back games to do so. One wasn't even a throw. He's 30th in completion percentage, 33rd in adjusted completion percentage. It's a 50-50 chance the ball gets to the open receiver. He's not very good. And people are acting like this exact scenario didn't play out with Justin Fields last year. It's the exact same. They're trying to make him a pocket quarterback. It doesn't work. And then he's going to start running the ball all over. And then they're going to look pretty good on offense. It's going to be the exact same thing. Like it's super, super simple. Mostert all of a sudden now has to deal with A-Chain. He'll deal with Jeff Wilson when he comes back. That's going to be a committee high-hand approach like it always is. And so you're saying Najee or Ramondre? I think that's a toss-up. Like, I think you can grade it either way.
Najee hasn't played. He's like 55% of the snaps the first 2 games. Like, Warren's getting run there. And I don't know that that's going to change. So
no. Yeah, that's not a fluke. They love Warren.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, Zeke's getting snaps in New England too, for sure. But
so I think Montgomery.
I think over the course of the full season, I would rather hitch my ride to Bill O'Brien's offense and not Matt Canada's. So,
like, we already saw the ceiling. We saw the best games from Raheem Mostert and Jordan Love already this season. I can guarantee it. We've already seen it. So get rid of them while you can. Sean Clifford equals Steve Young. Steve Young's not that great. So, I mean, I'd take the Sean Clifford side. Would you trade Jaden Reed for Jaylen Warren? PPR. So along that same lines then. Henry, what's your thoughts since you're just talking about it? Packers slot for the RB2 kind of RB1B in Pittsburgh.
In a vacuum, I like Warren. I mean, you just laid out why we don't really trust Jordan Love for a lot of reasons on that. So, and I'm a big Warren believer. And if, God forbid something happened to Harris, because we already got enough running backs going down, but then that role just becomes even bigger. So I would slide that route. Obviously, I don't know what the rest of the team is and what your situation is as far as depth of two positions, but I like that trade for Warren.
Espinoza?
The way that I wrote the script was that I'm a Najee Harris believer.
And you're going to stick to it?
I'm going to stick to it.
Okay. McAdoo, what do you think?
Depending on how Henry said, depending on how, if you need the running back depth, make the trade. If you don't need the running back depth, I'd keep Jaden Reed and hope that Chris Watson goes down again.
Yeah, I mean, that's the side ultimately I lean on. Like, it depends on what you need. But I think the position scarcity makes me lean Warren in a vacuum. I don't think there's ever going to be a week where you see Jaden Reed and you feel good about starting him. Like, we've seen him without Christian Watson, let's say, and a limited Romeo Doubs, and you probably weren't starting him. So I don't see how, you're ever going to put him in there. On the flip side, if Najee Harris is out, obviously you're starting Warren. So that's what I would do. Spencer John, Henry's brother, I assume, has a question. Amon-Ra and Tajay Spears for Amari Cooper. The Steelers guy is hurt. And
Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson.
Oh. Okay, so gotcha. Okay, so Amon-Ra and Tajay Spears for Amari Cooper, Deontay Johnson, and Zach Moss. Which side? Okay. Love the way you phrase that question. We'll start with that. I would want... Boy.
Do you trust Matt Canada?
No. I'm probably going to Amon-Ra. Like, he's the best player in this trade, so I'm just taking the best player.
I think another thing that we need to wait for is the Colts. Is Jonathan Taylor coming back? Because if he's not coming back, he ends up traded. Moss is going to be the guy there.
Right. So yeah, we could have 2 weeks of Zach Moss, or we could have a full season. That's sort of the gamble at this point. Henry, thoughts?
I think he should consider doing the trade since he's trying to trade with me. This is a question that he was asking me the other day. So I really feel like
your brother?
I shouldn't give advice here. Yes, this is my brother. So
nailed it. Wow.
And this is my team he's trying to trade with.
Incredible. I just saw it last
week,
week, John.
So then which one are you, Henry?
Wait, what?
Yeah. Which side
are you? Are you trying to trade for Amon-Ra?
I'm not trying to do anything. He's the one who wants to trade because he needs running back help, and I would be getting Amon-Ra, yes.
Oh, well then let me do you a solid here, buddy. And let me say, Spencer, you make that trade. I mean,
perfect.
Are you gonna say no to Henry? He's literally live on Flurry Sports right now. You should make that trade with him.
Priceless Pigeon, pick 2 to start. Tank Dell, Josh Reynolds, Jerry Jeudy, and Kendrick Bourne. I'm going Tank Dell, Josh Reynolds. Espinoza?
I don't know. I mean, I like Josh Reynolds. He's the little engine that could. He's done it 2 weeks in a row now. Jerry Jeudy was supposed to have a triumphant return and didn't. Kendrick Bourne didn't have his week 1, so I'm going to say Tank Dell and Josh Reynolds. Didn't have his week. Kendrick Bourne did not have his week 1 performance in week 2. Tank Dell, Josh Reynolds.
Henry?
I agree. I feel like Kendrick Bourne might be getting sauced on several snaps and routes this week, and I don't trust Jerry Jeudy or the Broncos whatsoever. Love Tank Dell too, by the way. Get the stud.
Yeah, McAdoo.
Yeah, I'm a Josh Reynolds believer, and in our dynasty league, I somehow grabbed him before the season started, so I'm gonna say Josh Reynolds and Tank Dell. So,
Blue Crew. I assuming you're coming to attack Espinoza for his Culver's comments. I'm guessing you're that Blue Crew for the Culver's junkies. Maybe one day you can join us. Who are you, Blue Crew? Let's start there. Like, put in your application. Maybe you can join us. Stoof, I didn't realize you did this to me yesterday, where you just threw out generic names because I was getting pissed off because I didn't know who anybody was until after the fact. I just sort of skipped over your question. Jones and Smith or Brown and Johnson in a tornado. Fuck you. How about that?
Julio Jones, Steve Smith, Antonio Brown. I think I'd go Julio Jones and Steve Smith because Antonio Brown sucks.
His question yesterday was a bunch of generic names in Evans, and I locked onto Mike Evans, and I'm like, yeah, I love Mike Evans, and then I skipped past this question. Val's Butker or Jake Moody at kicker. I would go Moody tonight.
Moody.
Jake Moody's awesome. Just play him because he's Jake Moody. Like,
am I gonna be on the island because I'm going Butker against that Bears defense?
No, I mean, traditionally kickers against the Bears defense are great because the Bears let you run up and down and then are good in the red zone. But boy, I'm just not trusting the Chiefs offense until they look like the Chiefs offense, I guess. I don't know. Priceless Pigeon, Shaheed Burks or Devontae Parker. Boy. Well, Rashid Shaheed does get the Packers, so I'm probably going to go him. I imagine it'll probably be a one catch for 80 yards and a touchdown line, but that's sort of all you need. Any strong opinions?
Anything more than that, you're getting greedy, but I think I'd go Shaheed too. I said yesterday in a certain comment section that Derek Carr was going to go off.
I mean, he might. I mean, the Packers are the Packers.
I think for Boom, I would look to Shaheed. If you just need a floor, if this is like, I'm assuming it's for a flex, I would probably go Devontae Parker.
That's fair.
Ooh. Yeah, I think I'm going with Shaheed.
I
like how we all just disagree adamantly with Traylon Burks.
Yeah, not good at football. I have a riveting season-long bet with, I think, Trevor, that Devontae Parker is going to outscore Deontay Hardy. So I have a lot of stock in Deontay Hardy this year, I guess. What a
go Bills!
What an amazing preseason bet to make.
Yeah.
Anything else last second? Give us your comments. Otherwise, we're going to jump off and enjoy the game, which starts in roughly 5 minutes here. Anything else you guys want to say? Espinoza, anything else about the Browns you need to get off your chest quickly?
No, I can't. It's too much. We have to save it.
Bernie, you might as well give him a monologue one of these weeks and just let him go off.
I mean, let me know. I'll let you just go solo. We'll have a big shot on you, and we'll clickbait the hell out of it.
Sounds good to
It'll
me.
Be
suit and tie,
interviews,
old-fashioned microphone.
Dude, can and will. We can have like a backdrop of like a stage.
Yes.
No, get the Browns backdrop where like the press conference Browns backdrop and just do talk shit about the whole time.
Good.
I can and will.
The whole premise could be that you're going to sit down with Deshaun Watson for an interview and then he just doesn't show up, and you could just get more angry as time passes that he doesn't show up.
Oh
This
man,
is great.
I love it. I really do. Send me the script.
Okay.
You're the script writer. What do you need him for?
Well, because this time I'm performing.
Can't
Writers
perform your own script.
Writers also do perform their own scripts.
And but that's a different fee. Got to write it, star in it, and direct it, and God, it's just a lot.
Diva. Good night, Stoof, and good night, everybody else. Ronnie Bell touchdown tonight. Ooh, it's spicy. It's a spicy take to go out on, but you know what? Let's see it. If you do it, Stoof, you're on the show next week if that happens. Browns are cursed. Any thoughts to that before we get off? Browns are cursed?
I knew this comment would be coming, especially from this person. Let's just say that they aren't getting any fantasy advice from me.
Sad stuff. Okay, we'll see you guys next week. We'll be live Tuesday for sure. I'll be live in the middle of the afternoon for that. So join us, maybe Sunday morning as well. But we'll see you then.